Hello, and welcome to our video presentation for our Community Service Initiative. We did our project on Kuala Lumpur Kepong Berhad. Throughout this module, we have learned the importance of service learning to us students, where this form of learning goes beyond our bubble, that is our classroom, and requires us to apply our in-class knowledge to real-world situations. Applying our knowledge in a service-oriented way, connecting our cognitive to our emotive, not only results in better learning outcomes, but engages our ethical development, henceforth nurturing us students into more empathetic humans and real citizens with better problem-solving skills, especially in regards to humanitarian issues. Now, my teammate Alia will identify the problems we face as in our communities.
Okay, hi. So I'll be talking about the problems that Malaysian education is currently facing. So as we all know, Malaysian education system is left behind compared to the other countries. So the first problem would be Malaysia has failed in bestowing capabilities in essential abilities such as mathematics and science. And Malaysia has a score below than the average for maths, science, in the latest program for international student assessment, and the results of OECD average for reading, maths and science were 487, 489 and 438 accordingly, and that is considered as low. Most of the present teachers are a result of the time where science and mathematics were educated in Bahasa Malaysia, and the current textbooks now are in English, so it can be a little bit confusing for the students because some of the teachers would explain the subjects in Bahasa Malaysia while the textbooks are in English. And the second problem would be insufficient technology and necessary infrastructure in the rural area. So as we all know, rural areas should have sufficient internet and technology in this modern era. This is due to the fact a great deal of educational and learning assets are accessible on the web, and this ought to be opened by the school in this area. And last but not least, poverty. It is stated that the students who are considered living under the poverty level will most likely to have the highest dropout rates, and these students would not be able to show their full education potential due to the lack of food and rest, as it can affect the students' potential. And now I'll let Tisha to talk about her part.
So thank you, Alia. Today I'm going to be talking about the impact measurements and also the advantages for this POEP program made by KLK. So as you can see in this article, they've conducted workshops throughout 4 schools in Ipoh in collaboration with Science Bridge Academy. And also this program was made to provide proper education to underprivileged community, especially the rural areas of Sabah, Indonesia, and also Liberia. So, as they expected, the turnout for this program was amazing. 6,900 students had participated. Also, a survey was conducted, and it was found that major students received great exposure from the POEP program, from the POEP, and also they had improved their understanding on the palm oil industry. This shows that KLK's program had achieved what their main goal was, and it was successful as it was able to go through their main goal, which is to provide a brighter future for the young, especially to the least fortunate ones in the rural areas. Besides that, it gives the B40 community the confidence to get out of their comfort zone and receive vast opportunities in terms of jobs and sources of income. The most important part is that the younger generation will be nurtured through the programs and also will be able to help out the palm oil industry in the future with their advanced level thinking. So now I'll be passing on to my teammate Fatima to talk about the disadvantages. Thank you.
So I'll be talking about the disadvantages. As to achieving the company's goals, Kuala Lumpur Kepong Berhad's responsibility to the community, they focuses on inclusive and equitable quality education. KLK is also concerned about early childhood development and primary education. Even though various methods and actions were taken to provide better education, there can be some negative impacts and risks that follow. The steps taken to improve education system as a part of responsibility consumes time and also a huge amount of money. KLK has to build capacity as well as they have to train staff to run the service effectively. These services, if they are done poorly, it can lead to negative experiences for the company, the children, as well as the volunteers. Furthermore, a fairly large amount of money would be used in order to hire an intermediary organization for a volunteer placement if they were to inquire any. But however, in some cases where the intermediary groups or organizations were irresponsible, the placement money meant for the community service are kept by the irresponsible organizations, and this gives a negative impact to the company because they couldn't get the service done due to the possible scam. Lastly, in early childhood development, a community service encourages a bond between volunteers and children. However, children can experience negative developmental effects as the effect of constantly seeing new faces, the friendly faces whose quickly formed bonds of attachment are regularly broken when they leave. For example, like in this picture, it shows like an example of a volunteer activity for education in childhood education. They usually create bonds very quickly and they have to break the bond once they leave. And there are studies that shows that these type of bonds can give a negative impact to early childhood development. That's all from my part, and I would like to invite Adila to present her part. Thank you.
So I'm going to talk about recommendations for KLK to consider so as to make the community service initiative more effective. Since KLK is in collaboration with a number of NGOs and numerous programs which help in delivering education service to the students in various ways, it is important and ethical to ensure social audit of these NGOs and programs are done so as to see its approach and efficacy. This will help to avoid any sudden discontinuity which may cause disruption to students. Besides that, with the rapid increase in technology and innovation, KLK should consider providing digital literacy based on different levels. This is to introduce students to technology advancement and create comforts on their future job prospects. For example, usage of computers by displaying videos relating to class sessions and collaborative class blogs. This will help students to be open-minded. Moreover, to accumulate all sorts of children, the company needs to restructure its facilities to be in a friendly environment for special needs kids. That is, the classroom should be well equipped with equipment and tools that may accommodate such kids. For example, augmentative communication devices for children with speech problems, wheelchair and position chairs, and special washrooms. This will help the kids to make them feel more involved and wanted in the society. And lastly, KLK should build or maintain a positive relation with the government for minor help or support, either in terms of subsidies or tax holidays, so as to keep the service running. So I'll pass back to Dania to sum up what we have presented so far.
Thank you so much, Adila. So to conclude our research project, we believe that KLK has successfully identified the problems that the community is facing and further has created a successful initiative program to tackle these problems for the betterment of the said community. Their initiative program enhances skills that go beyond what is required to solve the surface problem that is lack of quality of education, but rather KLK provides an education program that spreads knowledge while simultaneously teaches skills that are essential for the palm oil industry. In hindsight, KLK is killing two birds with one stone, since they are providing an education along with securing future jobs in palm oil to tackle the deeper problem, which is poverty. That is all for our research project. Further, I'm going to talk about the challenges we faced since we are a batch that didn't do our project traditionally. We had to learn through research. And so throughout this project, we definitely learned the importance of community service initiative. However, we agree as a group that there were a few challenges we had to overcome. With the global pandemic being an issue, being unable to physically meet has been a challenge. to communicate thoroughly. Not having a good medium to discuss has been a disadvantage towards us. And the biggest challenge would have to be the time difference, since some of us are international students and are not in KL. Finding a time that suits us all was a struggle when it came to committing to certain deadlines for our meetings and discussions. But other than that, I think this was a very helpful module. We've learned so much as a group, and thank you so much for coming to our video presentation. I hope you learned a thing or two, and goodbye.